While Kiev has raced ahead in terms of airport facilities, many of Ukraine's regional airports remain largely unchanged from Soviet times. But this disparity between the regional cities and the capital may be about to end. Since independence, Kiev has gradually grown into a glittering European capital city, thanks in part to what has been the lion's share of all international investment flowing into Ukraine. The country's regional capitals, meanwhile, have received relatively little. This trend has been somewhat at odds with the prevailing mood throughout the country of more localized loyalties. But while Ukraine's regional diversity has proved a decisive factor in both modern politics and culture in the country, in the investment sector all roads have consistently led to the capital. Will the development of a better regional airport infrastructure help to even out the flow of investment? And will it lead to a renaissance of the regions? Jerry, do you think the development of the different regions is going to open them up more to investment in a general sense, rather than having it all focused on Kiev?
Oh, certainly. Certainly. When real investors want to come to a place, they want to know that the infrastructure works. You know, somebody who's got a lot of money that wants to invest doesn't want to come to an awful airport with awful handling systems and be treated badly. And I go back to when I first arrived here in 1992, the luggage was taken from the plane on a tractor and trailer, and I had to carry my own luggage. It was awful. And I thought, do I really want to invest in Ukraine? Actually, I liked the people. They were well educated, so I decided to invest in Ukraine and set up a firm. But, you know, that goes for major investors. They like to have good facilities to arrive, good facilities in terms of connections to the centre of the city they're going to, good hotels that work, and not ridiculous prices as well. So I think as those facilities improve, then Ukraine is going to be opened up, certainly.
In terms of the Kharkiv project, again, specifically, what do you expect to be the impact in a broader sense over, say, a 5 or 10 year period of the local investment climate? I mean, what sectors do you expect to grow as a result of this new facility that you're going to have in place?
I think it's actually the good airport, as already was mentioned. It's really like the good airport, it's a face of a country, it's a face of a city. So I think it will impact, almost all economic spheres. Because when the people just arrived and then they see good services and a good terminal, so it's first impression, it's very, very important. And I think like when the investor arrived, because as I already do have some, I meet some investors in Kharkiv, and sometimes the impression was but now when the terminal was built and the services will be really good, and I see how it's improved, because the new website, so there will be good information provided for the people who will travel. So I think it's definitely will be a really good push-up for the economic development for Kharkiv, first of all, if we will say in terms of Kharkiv International Airport, and for all Ukraine as well.
Is it going to help to connect Kharkiv to other parts of Ukraine as well? I know there's obviously Ukraine is a country very, very well known for regional divides. Is this going to be something that you'd also like to see, say, flights from Kharkiv to Lviv and Kharkiv to West Ukraine?
Yeah, I'm sure that we will definitely, we will have direct flights. That actually why is this actually what I already said, that why we organize this event, is to improve and just to increase the number of flights from the Kharkiv International Airport. As we already did have terminal and the runways was built, so now really good Boeing 737 could land it on the Kharkiv International Airport. So I think it definitely will improve all the airlines, even international and inside the Ukraine as well.
Have you had any interest yet from the international air carriers to come into the Kharkiv sector?
We do, and we already, our partners, they already do have participants from international airlines to come to routes CIS, and I think it's quite big interest.
Mm-hmm. Jerry, from a legal point of view, in terms of the legislation involved here from an investor's point of view, what needs to be done to get the people to come into Ukraine and invest in these airport projects to make them as successful as they could be?
I'm not a lawyer, but I think the answer to that is the legal system that works and is reliable. And I have to say, I've been in this country a long time, and I find many things frustrating, and all the foreign investors tend to find these things frustrating. But what I'm seeing with the new government is that it's actually not just talking, it's doing things. I like the new initiative of tacit approval. I like the idea of actually sorting out the taxation system. What you need to do to get the investors is to allow some form of privatization or leasehold arrangement. In fact, Kharkiv Airport's a very good example. There's there's a 40-year or 50-year lease on
49
on the airport, and that is a sort of public-private partnership. So you need to open it up to investment. I mean, you look at Borispol. Borispol is going to look beautiful, but has Borispol got the car parking facility that a major airport needs? I'm not sure it has. But actually, I don't think the Ukrainians have rumbled the fact that there is huge money to be made out of car parking, in addition to just running the airport. So, you know, these opportunities are there, but the privatization facility has got to be made available to them. People don't see yet in Ukraine the opportunity to make money out of car parks. Simple thing like multi-story car parks. In Kiev, in the center, there are no car parks. But actually, there's money to be made. In the airport, we need huge parking facilities. If we're going to have the sort of numbers they're talking about going through the airport, you've got to have huge parking facilities. And I'm not convinced they're there. And there would be people like NCP, I guess, who would be interested in investing.
Do you have a big transport plan that surrounds the airport plan in Kharkiv that's going to come into place to make sure that people don't just arrive in a good airport, but then actually have a good way to get to the city and to get all around the Donbass, in fact?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, right now we do have a really good road to the airport. So it's even now it takes about 30 minutes to get to the airport. And of course, the transport infrastructure will be improved, and the underground is planned to be constructed. So it's like different opportunity for people to get from the airport to the center of the city.
Well, thank you very much, Oksana. Thank you for joining us, Jerry. We'll see you next week on Investing in Ukraine, Europe's Final Frontier. Goodbye.